why using the phrase "at least" needs to be deleted from your vocabulary as soon as possible. Today I want to give you 3 tips to understand why it's detrimental, how it hurts somebody else when you use those phrases "at least." And I also want to give you 3 tips on how to change that and how to support someone who's going through some pain. So you've heard these phrases, well, at least you tried, at least you passed, at least you had 10 years with him, or at least he didn't suffer, or, at least you were married. Or if you had a miscarriage, well, at least you can get pregnant. These phrases, amongst other phrases like God never gives you more than you can handle, or what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or could be worse, these phrases are so not helpful to helping somebody. And here's the reason why they're not helpful. Because you, as an observer of someone who's hurting, you want them to heal, you want them to move past their pain, and you want to help them solve their problems. So did you try this? Did you do that? You need to do this. Get off the couch. Let's go. But then there's other parts of it where you can't help them. And the reason being is that what they're going through is not tangible. So for an example, when you break your leg, because we do that so often, you're sitting on the couch. You have your leg elevated, you have tea, you are watching movies, you are sitting as still as possible because it's so painful to move. And the person, the observer, is watching you and sees your pain. They see the tangible problem. The facts are, there's a cast on your leg. I know that there's going to be pain underneath that. I can see it. And so they don't have any problem at all coming and sitting beside you and watching the movie with you and being quiet, because if you move, it hurts so bad. So you're just like, just be still and be quiet and just have it calm in this area and let me try to breathe. And you allow that as an observer. You're like, yep, I'll just sit here with you. There's no way on earth you would ever say, what are you doing on the couch? Come on, let's go skiing. That would be absurd. That is not going to be something that you're ever going to say, because you can see the pain. So why is it that when we have mental health issues, when we're frustrated or angry or sad, that we want to try to help, as an observer, the person in pain to get through their pain, get rid of it, push it under the rug, and let's go hiking. And there's a time and place for these things. But right now, when someone is going through something, they've gone through something that has, in their brain, has actually stopped a neuron pathway from firing on the continual path that it has always gone on. And now all of a sudden something has stopped it. I failed the test. Or I lost the baby. You're stopped. You cannot go in this direction anymore. I lost my loved one. These things stop you in your tracks, and it's so shocking, especially when I've studied so hard for this test. I've worked my butt off. I've done papers. I've drawn on the board. I've memorized. I've done every scenario I can think of. And how did I not do as well as I thought? I don't get it. It stops me right dead in my tracks. And what has to happen with that person who's in pain, they have to learn how to navigate and find a whole new pathway. And that's really hard to do when you've done this your whole entire life. So that is a shock factor for people who are on the outside looking in at something that's not tangible. You can see that they're in pain, but you don't know why. But it's because their brain has made them stop and they don't get it. And now they have to navigate a whole new scenario of, how am I going to work with this? How am I going to learn how to manage this? How can I navigate this new way? You're building a new pathway. And you know that when you're in the mountainside, you stick to the paths, don't you? That's like your neurons in your brain. You always stick to the trails. And what happens when there's no trail left? Well, we have to get down the hill, so we're going to make a new trail. And if you went up the hill 40 times and went down that new trail, there would be a pathway. But look at how long it takes to get down that trail, 40 times in order to get a pathway formed. So that's very similar to our brain. We need to learn how to navigate. When you're grieving, you're not grieving for a few weeks. I had someone say to me, my mom died and I'm gonna grieve for a year and then that's it. That's not how it works, and you all know that it's not how it works. You cannot say I'm gonna stop right here and there and I'm done. Because if you've loved that person, you will be grieving for the rest of your life. But you can manage, you can learn how to reconcile, but that takes time, just like a broken leg. A broken leg takes a lot of time to heal. You might be on crutches one week, and then a few days later you might move to one crutch, and then a few days later you can hop along. These are parts of the healing process, but what you've done with the broken leg is sit with it. I can't do anything. I cannot move. I have to breathe through this. I need the support of my friends and family getting me food or helping me up off the couch. And you need your professional doctors to help you with the meds so that you aren't as in much pain as you need to be. And so similar with our mental health, we need the support of our family and friends, but we also need the support of our professionals who can help us through not understanding this roadblock that we're in. And so I'll give you some ideas of what you can say instead of, well, at least whatever. You can say nothing at all. There's a picture on the internet. I think Brene Brown put it up. It's a cartoon guy sitting there in the rain, and one guy comes and puts an umbrella over him. That's empathy. You're sitting with them. You can also say to them, that sounds really tough. I'm sorry you're going through this. My heart is with you. That's validating them. You want to be able to validate these people who are suffering inside. It's not tangible, remember? So you want to be able to acknowledge their pain. And one time when I was grieving, my husband, I was sitting on the edge of the bed and I'm crying and he doesn't know what to do. I'm sure he's behind me going, I don't know what to do. But instead, all he did was put his hand on my back. And that was just like the best thing he could have ever done. He just sat with me because all he did with me there is connect. Oh, that's so amazing. So those are the kind of the things that we need to do a little bit more often when someone is struggling through mental health or their emotions. They don't understand it. And so you're not going to understand it either. So as an outsider, it's really hard to not understand something because our whole lot in life is to try to solve problems. And we need to allow the person some space, and we need to find a way to be empathic to them, find a way to validate them, and find a way to connect with them. And that is just by sitting with them, letting them sit with themselves as well. So when you're triggered, next time you say the word at least, try, you might say, well, at least something, but it might trigger in your mind to say, oh, okay, I want to try to say something different, or maybe say nothing at all. And one person knew that their friend was grieving, so they texted them and said, I brought you a milkshake, it's on your front porch. How awesome is that? So those are the small things that we want to do to connect with each other. And if you feel like you are isolating yourself from people because you need to try to work on this your own, this is really hard to do. You need your family and friends, but you can also ask them or tell them what it is that you need. What I need you to do right now is sit with me and be quiet with me. Yes, I can do that because it's tangible. What I need is support from a counselor because I don't know how to navigate this. Then absolutely we'll give them a call. So those are my ideas today to discontinue the use of at least and other phrases that are detrimental to someone who's going through their pain. All right, so we'll have a good day and talk to you soon.